here is a conversation between S and Jack Lewis, JLStanton, about the Rob Alexander deal that has resulted in Jack not returning cards nor refunding money from anything unfulfilled from other brokering transactions to their rightful owners. At the time of this conversation, there were only 54 people in the FB group to whom Jack had not returned cards to. Now it is up to over 80. S has since gotten all of his cards back as of April 13, 2021 in various transactional states. The cards from the Soured Rob deal have since been recovered by Mossers Group as of August 19, 2023, and returned to their owners. But nearly everyone else from the other deals within that FB group have not. Despite filing with the Postal Inspector, the Utah Attorney General's Office, and other law enforcement, Jack resumes his record wheeling on FB, eBay, DiscoGS.com, and various other places with no care about recovering nor returning the cards to even refunding the money of all those who are still affected from his ghosting.
On Monday, February 8, 2021, 9 hours 22 minutes and 20 seconds PM MST, S wrote, "Jack, I am representing numerous concerned individuals. This message is to make you aware of action our group is organizing. Many of us have been blocked, and you have locked comments on your business page. We have contacted numerous artists, and without exception, they have told us that they have either A, been paid by you and have returned signed cards to you, B, that you have not paid the artist and the artist is holding the cards until you do, or C, that they have not heard from or worked with you in some time, or have cut ties with you services. We have received responses from every artist we have contacted. We currently have a group of 40+ individuals sharing their experiences. We are gathering information on which cards are missing, which artists are involved, collecting tracking, payment information, and identifying the true location of our property, since you have not been forthcoming. You entered into written financial agreements with hundreds of us and took our property into your possession. Multiple individuals are missing over $1,000 in cards each, and we are getting a picture of the scope of our property that has been mishandled. Many of our cards have been missing for 2 years. This was executed through federal mail. Our first steps will be to compile our information on losses and report out to USPIS and IC3. By March 31, 2021, we expect to have all of our cards back. Or in the case of unpaid artists, that they are paid. If any outstanding unresponsive artists exist, they need to be individually identified. If you intend for Matt to return cards, we need to hear exactly what cards they are, and he needs to have those cards by this date. You can contact me via this email since you blocked me on FB, and I will relay your response, or you are welcome to join our group and address us directly."
On February 8, 2021 at 11:26 p.m., Jack Stanton 2 at yahoo.com wrote, "Howdy is first, I want to say I blocked you because you were trying to interfere with my business operations. More on that later. Thanks to artists who are loaning me the money to pay off what's left, cards are either going to get signed or not due to people, namely Kevin Hart, poisoning the well. Several are already on their way with a couple of exceptions due to artists being nowhere to be found. I'm not going to give you a list because basically people have been harassing artists. About Kevin, years ago, he would chat with me about all kinds of things. What I didn't know was that he was trying to use my friends list as well as that of Mark, Matt, and others to attempt to steal their artists. Things he wrote in his emails was interesting as I have them. I also have screenshots of his leading people to harass artists as well as interfere with my business operations which, get this, earn me money to take care of the signings. I would say the efforts cost me around $20,000, more than enough to pay for the signings over the past year. Notice other than some old ads for Jason Chan, I'm not selling for artists, BTW. The interference from him and his friends cost artists about $100,000 plus in business. So, I'll be speaking with artists about that as well as collecting emails and messages from them. I have a lot of 20-year relationships with them and have made collectively over a couple of million for them. I set them up at shows and with clients, a whole list of things Kevin has not been able to do. He runs a signing service, that's fine. But he'll never really have those interactions which he's tried and in some cases succeeded in destroying. So, in regards to Kevin and his friends who have been harassing my friends, my wife, and my business acquaintances, it works two ways, BTW. He's really upset that I had artists go Matt's and Mark's way. There's a reason for that. I'll be talking to artists about going to other signing services before everything is said and done and explaining why. Feel free to pass that on to Kevin. That leaves everyone stuck in the middle. I don't live on Facebook. I work 14 to 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. COVID has hurt things as well as Kevin's interference. I have sold all personal items and have a tax lien due to the original theft, and it's screwing up my tax returns. Hard to explain, so I'm not going to. So, don't take it personally if I don't answer everyone with everything that's going on in my life or with signings. I'm fighting several fronts, which is actually doing work to earn money to pay off my debts. Again, Kevin and his friends' interference with my business, were you part of that? I'm curious, and COVID dumb luck. You can believe me or not, I don't care at this point. I know what I'm going to do, which is get this over with as soon as possible in the best manner, so I don't have to hear any more about it. Now, someone you mentioned. I'm going to cut and paste something for you in regards to Rob Alexander. But a brief overview. Rob picked up cards in person in Salt Lake City. I owed him around $390 for the signing. He contacted me and told me he had them done and it would be $850. I took in around $650. He told me he raised his rates. I reminded him that our deal was if he raised rates in the middle of a signing, he'd honor the old price. He said I owed $850, so I asked what his prices went up to. He told me and I told him that was $650, not $850. He insisted on $850. So I told him to send me back Andre Brunette's FBB Italian for Ex-Tiger I'd given to him at GP Vegas in 2017 and to send the original Larwin Island artwork a friend had paid him $1,000 for in 2011, but he's yet to send and won't talk to the beer or refund the $1,000. Basically, if I was going to pay the $200 more than what his new prices were, he had to close everything with me even though I had no responsibility with Andre's cards because I've never trusted Rob with alters. Nathan Ellett got in touch with him and he told Nathan he wasn't going to sign them until he got paid. So I shipped him $20 to priority mail them to me and signed, and I'd save the $200 and just return the money to the customers. He's never responded to that. I asked Nathan to feel free to reach out, but I assume he hasn't. So, Rob will not confirm if what he told me cards signed or to Nathan cards not signed is true or not. Maybe you could get people to harass him about it. Also, he contacted Andre once. Said he'd get them to him, and then nothing. He won't talk about the painting, which is worth over $10,000 now, and he probably sold to someone else but still won't pay the original beard his $1,000. Feel free to step in on this one if you'd like. Rob won't confirm or deny anything, but here's some emails.
Jack, nice to see you again, albeit briefly. The cards you sent home with me are signed and ready to go back to you. I counted 300 single signatures at $2 each, and 60 shadow signatures at $4 each, and $10 for postage, for a total of $850. Do you want extra insurance on them? Priority post comes with $50 as the default. PayPal me the funds at your convenience, and then I'll send them on their way. Cheers, Rob.
Hey Rob, sorry, I totally spaced this off. Got really busy after leaving. Did you raise your prices? I was under the impression you were still charging $1 and $3 to me, which is what I had solicited my customers at. Please let me know. Thanks, Jack.
Jack, I did have to raise the prices of the single signature, left the shadow one at the same $4 it has been.
Rob, when did you do this? Just curious, Jack.
Was talking about it quite a bit with some of the other artists last year in Vegas and Seattle, but didn't really implement till around the start of this year and the events I've done in 2019. Sarah sometimes gets bored and expresses herself via creative spelling and grammar. Please forgive her errors, Rob. Jack, back from my travels, at least for the moment. Will you be at the GP in Seattle in June? I could bring the cards with me if you are. Just need you to PayPal me the funds. Let me know what works best for you, Rob.
Howdy, Rob. Just trying to figure out how to answer to this. I really wish you had let me know the price increase when I handed you the cards or before you signed them, as I would have just had them returned and then returned them to the customers. At this point, you're asking me for $100 more than I actually charged the customers, and this doesn't even take into consideration the 5 hours I had to spend sorting the cards and the time I'm going to have to spend sorting them out once they're returned. Tedden, Moeller, and Gallegos recently raised their rates and honored the previous signing price, as they hadn't let me know during my solicitations until it was too late to correct. I haven't really attended any shows, so I wasn't aware of your increase. If you still wish to get the $850, let me know and I'll pay it, but I have a few requests I'd ask before you send them back. They are as follows. And GP Vegas 2017, I gave you for 4 in black border tigers from Andre Brunette to alter. He's tried to reach out, but to no avail. They had some very dinky alters on them, so they should be easy to find. He just wants them back at this point. And lastly, XXXXXX asked me to ask about the Lorwyn Island artwork he paid for in 2011. I have the emails if you'd like me to send them to you. He said you can send the piece to me to send to him, or he'll stop by at Iluxkin to pick it up. Let me know if you need the emails, as he's anxiously awaiting the painting. Please advise on the availability of these. And let me know about the signings. I'll pay the $850. But again, I do wish you had given me the heads up before signing them. Thanks, Jack Stanton. From Jack Stanton to @yahoo.com to Rob Alexander rob.alexander.artist@gmail.com. Sent Monday, May 25, 2020, 11 hours 50 minutes and 2 seconds AM MDT. Subject, cards. I have never heard back from you in regards to the 4 tigers I gave you in Vegas or the painting a friend was hoping to get that he paid for. Now someone is saying you never signed the cards I gave you, though you told me you did. If that's the case, I'll send you $20 to priority the cards unsigned, as well as the 4X Tiger that were supposed to get altered in 2017. Also, any information on the painting would be appreciated by the customer. I'll just return the unsigned cards, as it'll be cheaper to pay the customers back what they paid me. Let me know if you can send them unsigned back, Jack. From Jack Stanton to @yahoo.com to Rob Alexander rob.alexander.artist@gmail.com. Rob@robalexander.com, rob@robalexander.com. Sent Monday, June 1st, 2020, 3:10:50 to PM MDT. Subject, just curious if you have an update on the cards and artwork, as I've tried on a couple of occasions to get this settled. Howdy, Rob. I need to know if those cards are signed or not. You told Nathan Ellett that they weren't, and I'd like to keep them that way. In addition, I need to get those for X4 in black bordered Italian tiger I gave you at GP Vegas in 2017 to alter for Andre Brunette. XXXXXXX also needs information or some kind of compensation regarding the Lorwyn Island artwork he paid you for in 2011. I'm not sure why you would answer Nathan, but ignore my emails. This has cost me some issues, but I'm trying not to tell my side of the story in public, as it would most likely cause you business from the collectors who want alters and signatures. BTW. Nathan posted, and many people mentioned they were waiting for alters of very expensive cards. I'd suggest not taking the commission if you can't get it done. It's one of the reasons I'm getting out of signings. Anyway, I need those tigers back. It's $1,600 out of Andre's pocket, and the cards if they aren't signed. All you need to do is tell me you'll ship them back, and I'll send $20 to have them sent priority mail to me. Again, I need the unsigned cards and Andre's tigers. You can send a message to Stephen Lee if you like. I can get his phone number if you need it. If you can't send me a response regarding these, I'll have to respond in the complaint against me to let people what the holdup is. I would prefer not to have to do that. Jack Stanton. I've sent you $20 to cover priority shipping of the unsigned cards according to your message to Nathan Ellett and the 4x4 in black bordered Italian tiger you've had since GP Vegas in 2017 to alter from Andre Brunette. My address is Jack Stanton, P.O. Box 520,685, Salt Lake City, at 8415-20685. Acknowledgement would be nice. I really hope to hear from you regarding the cards and the painting, so I have something to say to the collectors, Jack. So, here's a problem. Do you blow up one of Magic's favorite artists? I'm actually traveling through Oregon in a few months and one way or another, I'm getting the cards from Rob. All he has to do is acknowledge he has the cards signed or unsigned, if unsigned. Send them back, if signed. I pay him, but he has to give me back other cards for Andre so that we can settle it. Also, at the very least, I'd love to pay the $850 to the person who bought the artwork from him and have him pay the guy $150 more at the very least for the painting he won't talk about. Feel free to have reasonable adults talk to Rob about this, as I really don't want to blow him up. That last message I sent to him was on June 1st. Nothing. Anyway, thanks for the heads up. I won't be joining your group as I get screenshots regularly by those who are friends and people waiting for their cards letting me know what Kevin is doing to hurt my business. I'm not going to be chatting with anyone because that doesn't get work done. Something about signing services a lot of people don't understand. You get 50 to 100 messages a day sometimes, and messages beget messages. I've had to message 10 hours plus on days before without actually getting much done otherwise. I don't have time for that, and I hope you understand that. I also hope you understand the irony of this. Man loses a lot of money he needs to get a job done. People are upset that he's not earning as much as he can to get the job done immediately, despite the person selling off all his person items and treasures. So, they attack his business to cost him the opportunity to earn the money to get the job done. It's a small number of people, but I will be having a talk with many of them after this is through. I hope you weren't one of them. Again, just in case I wasn't clear, man loses money. Man does virtually everything he can to earn money to finish what he owes. People interfere with that business, somehow coming to the conclusion that will help him get the job done. Might want to cut that out. Jack. P.S. Tell those I have it blocked for harassing people that they can send me a message, Matt, and I'll send things to Matt for them. If not, they'll end up getting their cards sent back directly to them. Though it'll end up costing me another $1,000, I've lost at least $50,000 over all of the theft and fallout with bad tax advice and other things. What's another $1,000?
From Chess to Jack Stanton JackStanton2 at yahoo.com. We have heard this story about this Kevin Hart person before, but it does not add up. For all we know, someone like him may have very well tried to steal artists from people. He might have even succeeded. But it does not prevent you from having ownership of the cards we entrusted you with. Unless this guy was sitting outside artists' mailboxes waiting to intercept packages, our order should still be intact, regardless of if this person was trying to steal artists away from you. If cards were actually stolen, that needs to be reported, plain and simple, but it sounds like that is not what happened. It sounds like someone tried to pull business away from you. You and other brokers may have lost business, money as a result, but that still leaves our orders and the money we paid intact. It sounds like you mismanaged money, specifically, our money that we gave you to perform a service. We do not care about your tax returns, or your tax liens, or whatever other financial issues you might have going on. Bottom line is you were paid sufficiently for the services we agreed to, and you should have had the funds to cover whatever expenses they entailed because, well, we gave those funds to you. We don't take it personally that you don't share everything going on in your life, frankly. It has nothing to do with this. You collect cards, box them up, pay an artist, and distribute them. That is the extent of what we care about. Rob Alexander is also not our problem. That is clearly a relationship between you two that broke down, and that has nothing to do with us. If Rob is holding our cards hostage, that is your responsibility to take action on, not ours. You can send him friendly emails all day, but it clearly is not solving anything. You talk a lot about the time this stuff takes, and how we just don't understand the ins and outs of being a broker. You are right, we probably don't. But Matt and Mark both seem to handle things flawlessly. Their business pages are constantly filled with happy customers sharing mail days from hundreds of artists. Why are your couple dozen artists somehow an exception? We believe the common factor is you. Not the artists. You complain about messages, but there is a simple reason why you are getting blown up with them. You are not transparent. At all. Nobody knows what is going on, and it forces us to band together to figure out what the hell the truth is in all this. Do you know how much would have been solved if you simply would have posted monthly updates with real details on the status and location of our cards as you navigated through this mess? We are also not harassing artists. We are simply, and politely, inquiring whether or not they have received anything from you. Since you will not tell us, most of them are just as shocked as we are. So please don't tell us this story of us hurting your business by asking artists for some basic information. Anyways, we have heard all of this before. Our original message stands. If you still do not want to communicate the truth with your customers, that's fine. We will continue to pursue the facts, and our date of March 31st is when we still expect resolution.